Next 10 question for a D. The elements are arranged in groups and periods in the periodic table. Which one is the correct row? ये आपने select करना है. Now we have group determined by the number of electrons in the outer shell, the number of occupied shells, the number of electrons in outer shell, the number of occupied shells. The number of electrons in the outer shell is the correct one. Group number कैसे determine होता है? Group one, all of the members of which are placed in the group one all have one electron in the outermost shell. So from the very first one we can select that A and C options जो हैं वो correct हैं इसमें. So हम A और C को ही आगे देखते हैं, उन्हीं में हमें ठीक जो है वो सारी चीजें मिल जाएंगी, because B and D is incorrect for the first. Okay, period determined by the number of occupied shells or the number of occupied shells. Yes. Again, A or C में आप देखें, the second period determined by number of occupied shells. Yes, it is true. So A and C is again true for the second one. Now अब हमें A और C में से एक select करना है, वो last की base पर select होगा. Elements in the periodic table are arranged by increasing proton number या increasing mass number. Increasing proton number. So for 21, A option is correct. Always remember this thing कि group number से आपको फौरन पता चल जाता है that how many electrons are present in the outermost shell. Period number, if you know the period number, तो हमें ये पता है that how many shells are present here, how many number of shells are present here. और जो elements arranged in the periodic table, they are arranged on the basis of their atomic number, right? So there we have the next question. Sodium, potassium, and rubidium are in group 1, and chlorine, bromine, and iodine are in group 7. Which statement is correct? We have to correct statement हमने select करनी है यहाँ पर. So here we have the options. Bromine displaces chlorine from an aqueous solution of sodium chloride. No, bromine displace नहीं कर सकती. Iodine is discharged at the negative electrode when concentrated aqueous potassium iodide is electrolyzed. Then C, rubidium has for aqueous potassium iodide, obviously iodine couldn't discharge a negative electrode. So the next one, rubidium has a greater tendency to form positive ion in the potassium. Yes, obviously potassium is at the top of the group और rubidium जो है at the bottom of the group present है. Down the group size increase कर रहा है, rubidium की capacity ज्यादा है electron lose करने की और positive ion बनाने की. D, sodium and potassium both react with water, but the reaction is more violent in the sodium. No, they both show very violent reactions. Next one is which statement about the transition elements and their compounds is correct? Copper oxide catalyze the conversion of sulfuric acid. No, copper use नहीं होता इसके लिए. To convert sulfuric acid to copper sulfate. No, it's not. Conversion के लिए ही नहीं. Iron allows hydrogen and nitrogen to react at a lower temperature. Hydrogen and nitrogen reaction को उसके लिए जो catalyze करने के लिए उसको use करते हैं. That is iron. Yes, it is true. Then let's check out the other two statements. Nickel increase the rate of reaction between hydrogen and saturated hydrocarbons. No, it's not nickel. Vanadium oxide speed up the oxidation of sulfur to sulfur dioxide. No, again, it's not true. So for this one, we have our B option is correct. Iron is used for hydrogen and nitrogen reaction at low temperature. For 24, three statements are given for metals. They conduct electricity, they have 2 electrons in their innermost shell, and they have high melting points. So if you consider all this, the first and second statement is correct. All the metals that don't have high melting points, metal electricity conduct करते हैं, ये point ठीक है. और सबके ही shell जो innermost shell है उसमें 2 electrons होते हैं. So that two options are correct. Which statements about metals and their uses are correct? Aluminium use किया जाता है to make electric cables because it has low density. Yes, use किया जाता है. Aluminium is used to make food containers के लिए भी ये use किया जाता है क्योंकि corrosion resistant है. और copper को electrical wiring के लिए use किया जाता है. Yes, these all options are correct. So D, for 25, D is the correct one. Stainless steel is an alloy. It contains iron and more than one of the one or other element, and which is commonly we used for this combination. निकल एंड कार्बन, स्टेनलेस स्टील में ये जो कॉम्बिनेशन है उसमें निकल और कार्बन का कॉम्बिनेशन लाजमी प्रेजेंट होता है स्टेनलेस स्टील में. सो द सी ऑप्शन इज द करेक्ट वन. Then the next one, the equation for some of the reactions are given here, and we have something which is reacting with copper और copper उसको replace कर रहा है, right? So copper is replacing Q. Actually आपने इस टेबल को अगर आप देखें आपने ये देखना है what is the most reactive one and what is the least reactive. So copper Q को replace कर रहा है और R T को replace कर सकता है. So we can write it over on your copies that Q एंड कॉपर में से कॉपर की टेंडेंसी ज्यादा है, R रिप्लेस कर रहा है T को. सो R की टेंडेंसी ज्यादा है इसमें और T जो है वो रिप्लेस कर सकता है हाइड्रोजन को. सो यहाँ पर T की जो है वो टेंडेंसी ज्यादा है. एंड इफ यू कोरिलेट इट दैट मींस R हैज मोर टेंडेंसी देन T and T has more tendency than Q. So the C option is the correct one because R और T की टेंडेंसी तो आपको क्लियरली पता चल गई है और T जो है वो हाइड्रोजन को रिप्लेस कर सकता है आसानी से. So that means you can combine it with the over one. So that is Q, that is hydrogen, and we have the C option correct. Then on the next one, zinc is used to galvanize iron, which prevents the iron from rusting. You have to pick the correct statement. And the layer of zinc forms a barrier between the iron and the oxygen to ताकि water उसे react नहीं कर सके. Yes, it is true. And zinc oxidize हो जाता है iron before the iron does, even if the layer of zinc is scratched. Yes, अगर ऐसा कुछ है तो zinc पहले oxidize हो जाएगा. When iron rust, atom of iron gain electron to form ions. Atom of iron gain electron. No, third option is not correct. So first and second statements are correct. So A option is correct. The statement about the extraction of aluminium is shown to you. आपकी statements हैं electrolyte is aluminium oxide dissolves in molten cryolite. The second is carbon is used for both the carbon cathode and anode. And the third is carbon dioxide is given off at cathode. The only first and second option is correct. Carbon dioxide जो है वो cathode पर produce नहीं होती. So first and second option is correct. A option is correct. What is the cause of deoxygenation of water in lakes? Deoxygenation जो आपके materials आपके water की होती है, that is due to soluble fertilizers. ठीक है, जो आपके fertilizers dissolve हो रहे हैं, leach down करते हैं वाटर के अंदर, वाटर टेबल के अंदर और पानी के अंदर पेनिट्रेट करते हैं, उनकी वजह से आपकी जो डिसॉल्व्ड ऑक्सीजन है वो रिमूव हो रही है. सो दीज आर द ओनली 10 MCQs फॉर अ डे.